All right, welcome back everyone to the Hoop and Focus podcast. It's been a minute. Um, I spare y'all all the details, but we're gonna keep trying. We're just gonna keep tracking along on this thing. Uh, us and all the guys had a good talk about the future of Out of Focus, and I think we're all on the same page, and it's gonna be cool to figure out in this next year. But let's get straight into it. Quick finals recap. Here, go ahead. You want to start?
I just want to go ahead and say Ali Crow because even though I did go into this finals hoping that the Celtics wouldn't make it, obviously enough, they came out victorious. So congrats to the Celtics, well deserved. Um, I would say it's a cakewalk. It was definitely a cakewalk. Just the fact that the Mavericks were super young and Jason Tatum was,
Super young?
yeah,
No.
their starting setter was a rookie.
Okay. But Luca and Tatum are damn near the same age. You got Kyrie, um, PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford. Come on.
Luca was drafted in a year before.
Relatively around the same age. I say like all of it equates. All of it equates to it. I think
Okay,
if
I mean it's
they just
respect.
weren't good enough.
Yeah,
They just weren't good. They just weren't good enough.
they weren't good.
They think they went on a really good run in the Western Conference. They got hot at just the right time. It was just a good situation, good mix of events for them. But they just weren't better than us. I think plain simple. I think Luca was hurt to an extent, like he wasn't his full self. But Kyrie just didn't shoot the ball well. Um, yeah, and I think a big part, Tatum's switchability for defense was really good. Like putting him on Gafford. There was I think yeah, Jalen Brown's success. I hate to like say his success was because of someone else, but the attention that Tatum draws allows Jalen Brown to do what he does.
My thing is that Jalen
And Jalen Brown
Brown.
took over. I'm sorry to cut you off, but like Jalen Brown took over the way he did because so much attention was towards Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum didn't shoot the ball well at all, but they always respected him
I feel like Tatum relied on his shot creating
way too much than he
way too
should.
much,
Yeah, no.
as opposed to
Well,
penetrating.
but he also did. He led in rebounds and assists, so he also did affect the games in other ways. But he just didn't shoot the ball well.
Yeah, and of course, I don't want to say that um, Jalen Brown's the way he played should get overlooked at all.
Oh no. He took over, especially in I think crunch time in Game 3. He hit a shot over. I want to say Jaden Hardy at the top, or Tim Hardaway. He had a really big mid range jumper over Tim Hardaway, and
Mm,
that was just one of the examples of him taking over when he needed to.
yeah,
But I think that's it for right now. I mean, unless you have anything else to say,
nothing
yeah,
to
they just
say.
weren't
I
good
mean,
enough.
the
They just
finals was the
couldn't beat.
finals.
Oh yeah, and just good contributions from Derek White and Drew Holiday.
Yeah,
Obviously, like that doesn't need to be said. Like they carried their part.
Celtics kept their core together, and that definitely helped them as well. They're all battle tested, like I said,
Hmm.
compared to the young. Let's be real. The reason why I say the Mavericks were young is because none of them were battle tested. They all done
Yeah, inexperienced. I think would be the
inexperienced.
better word. Yeah, inexperienced. The
So
Mavericks were just inexperienced.
valiant effort for the Celtics. Let's see if they can continue their efforts. I believe during their offseason they weren't that busy. Kept it
Nah, I mean they re-signed everybody
pretty
except
much.
Svi Mihailuk. I think that's how you pronounce it.
And Kylie.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, he's at the Jazz, and then O'Shea Brissett, which was a tough fucking loss. That dude was really good. He was an energy piece off the bench,
Right.
would rebound, which I think we're kind of missing right now. But I think It's the we're banking on the development of the younger guys like Jaden Springer, Jordan Walsh to kind of fill in that role O'Shea Brissett did, which I think Jordan Walsh is feeling really well. He's got some good boards from what I saw
Yeah,
in his limited minutes. I think he gets like 10 a game, like not 10 a game, but when he's in, I don't know, he's around anywhere from like 5 to 10 minutes.
yeah,
So yeah, I think
yeah.
that's it. Let's see if they'll do it again.
Let's see. We did want to discuss free agency, but like I said, not that much anything quite eventful outside of the
Out of
main
the Knicks,
targets.
pretty
Out of the
much. Yeah.
Knicks, a lot of moves were made in the Eastern Conference primarily. Definitely think they did make a come up in these recent years, and
Coaching staff
primarily
switches
a lot
too.
of coaching staff switches, primarily with the Suns. There was a lot of buzz around that, especially the Lakers
Yeah, but I think in the East, since we'll start with the East. Darvin Ham went to the Bucks.
as assistant coach.
Yeah. Um, JB Bickerstaff was fired from the Cavs. Is at the Pistons. Uh, Charles Lee was on the Celtics. Was an assistant on the Celtics. Now he's coaching the Hornets.
Right.
And then Kenny Atkinson got signed to the Cavs, and they're on a roll right now.
Yeah.
You want? We'll just go top down from the East.
For the East,
Yeah.
yeah, we could do that.
So quick, Cavs 12-0 run right now. Kenny Atkinson has them firing on all fucking cylinders. Fake run. Like I'm being a hater right now.
It's
Like
a fake
it's a
run.
fake run. I think from what I've seen, let me give credit where credit's due. Kenny Atkinson's got these guys like finally on the same page. Like I think he's using Mobley and more action,
Mhm.
and we're seeing him a lot more involved. We've seen Mobley take a little bit more threes, and he's already have. I don't have any of the numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I can't get you guys specifics for today. Today was kind of like a quick thing. We just wanted to get in. Next time we'll be more prepared.
Mm.
But yeah, I know I've noticed that Mobley's taking a little bit more threes. I saw him bringing up the ball a couple times, um, which they're banking on. They want Mobley to stretch the floor, which
Yeah.
I think will. He's already where is he like top 6 in DPOI? I think like he's in the conversation. I think,
Too early
but
to
he's
talk about
capable of
that.
yeah.
I think it's too early for that. Like deep boy talks,
Mm,
because we're
what he's
now.
capable of. I'm saying like just from what from a talent perspective. I think
Yeah.
now he's gonna win it today. I think that's Wemby. DPOY. I've seen Chet in the early years, like he's been sneaked in there, but I think really it's between Gobert and Wembanyama. But that's another conversation. Yeah, basically, I think they're banking on Mobley's development.
Yeah. Um, in difference of coaching, comparing JB Bickerstaff and Kenny Atkinson, JB Bickerstaff didn't really have any offensive schemes that were catered towards his bigs, which kind of made Evan Mobley kind of, booted out.
Yeah, especially when you have Jared Allen on the floor,
Yeah.
who's a great player, but he doesn't shoot at all. You're not
Yeah.
really looking for offensive ability. So when you have, yeah, you're saying JB Bickerstaff
Yeah.
not involving your center, um, and utilizing him the right way, now you just have two bigs on the floor, which is
Not
dated basketball.
quite literally. And the fact that it was displayed in the second round against the Celtics, you could see the defensive schemes that the Celtics were throwing at the Cavs, especially with just pressuring their guards. I mean, I know Darius Garland had a few good games, but outside of was it game two that you guys won? They won? They lost?
Yeah, they won game two.
Game two, they lost. They were able to beat the Celtics. He did not have a great series, and neither did Donovan Mitchell, of course, leading to his injury.
Which I think was his last game in the series.
Yeah, and then I feel like this has definitely been a great come up for the Cavs with the coaching change for Kenny Atkinson, because you alleviate all that pressure off of your guards, and you give more responsibility for not only just your bigs but your other players that are involved. Like Levert, I could see him having a phenomenal year.
Yeah.
In a sense, I know he was doing phenomenal in New Jersey. Let's see if that could carry over into the Cavs
He's
sense.
like one of
But
the most inconsistent players ever.
exactly.
Yeah, if I think he fits in one of those players where if he gets 20, 22, you
Mhm.
just live with it. You know,
Yeah.
you're gonna live with Karis LeVert getting 22 when you have to play off of somebody. But yeah, like you're saying, taking responsibility off the guards.
Hmm.
Now we're seeing uh Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell like finally work out the way that we thought of on paper.
Right.
And it's finally coming to fruition.
Yeah.
And so it's really all banking on Mobley's development for this
Absolutely.
team. The Celtics, we kind of went over it. They're bringing it back, champs. Let's just see if they can do it again. I think, and then we're just we didn't mention Chris Stapps is out on surgery, and he's going to be
Yeah.
coming back after December, so we'll see that. Pacers, haven't been
Little.
too much on them. I know Tyrese is having his slumps right now. He just had a big game against New York, um, but he is not having the same beginning to the season that he did last year. Where last year people were throwing him in Nash talks and giving putting a bunch saying a bunch of crazy stuff, and
Yeah.
now he's kind of falling down back to earth. But I still think the Pacers are one of the more dangerous teams in the East. I think
Solely because of the
every
front
game's going
court.
to be a shootout too. Yeah, like
Yeah.
they gave the Celtics the hardest run,
Mm.
even though it was a sweep. Technically, you watch that. I was more scared of Andrew Nemhart having the ball than I ever was with
Or
Luca and Kyrie having the ball. Like,
PJ McConnell.
dude, like those two guys were killers. Those guys, and now they're coming back. Benedict Mathurin's having a hell of a start to his season right now, which
That's
we know. Like I love him. Sucks that we're gonna have to probably face him again, but
yeah.
banking on his development. Pascal's been fitting in good,
Yeah.
and I think it's really just health with this team. Health with a lot of these teams.
Yeah. It's definitely the Halliburton situation. I feel like he needs to find his what his woes are being you know
Mm-hmm.
supplied to, or not supplied to, but like what his woes are when it comes to shooting. I feel like they need to be corrected, and he needs to be more confident in the shot because you can't, like you said, and I do believe this. Their bigs are the reason why they're successful. Their front court of Miles Turner and Pascal
Siakam.
Siakam,
Mm.
probably one of the best front courts that we've seen
They
in the
also run
Eastern
a five
Conference.
out.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah,
and they
yeah.
do run a five out. They're able to stretch the floor. But like I said, you can't bake on that every night. So, whatever Ty Halliburton is going through with his woes, he needs to definitely change that. So he's the difference maker of how their season plays out. And also if, they could make sure that they are healthy and consistent.
I also think if things fall right again, I get not more so with injury, but with how seeding ends up because it's starting out kind of whack. I think more out of whack than usual because usually in every beginning of the season, like
Teams
teams,
always, yeah,
like as the season goes on, that they just can't sustain winning like that. But um, the Bucks and the Sixers, which we'll talk about in a bit.
right.
But I think they can make the ECF again. I wouldn't be surprised if they do.
I wouldn't punch their ticket now, but they will be in talks. But the thing
They're
is
going to be
about
very competitive,
the
very very long series.
yeah,
These guys aren't going to go out
right.
quick.
But but see, the East is very wishy washy. Of course, you have the Celtics. Of course, you have the Knicks that are always going to be in those talks at the moment. But then it's any man's game when it comes to who else could potentially make the ECF. So I wouldn't punch their ticket on that now, in my opinion. But as of now, they could be in the talks. But I just got to see more consistency with Ty Halliburton going into the season. So.
Yeah, next we got
Uh,
the Magic.
Orlando.
I honestly, for these next two ones, I don't know if there's much to talk about. So Paolo's out,
Yeah.
and that's really just a big hit to the season. I forgot what his injury was. I think it was a leg injury. Um, yeah, the dude was having an incredible start
Hmm.
to his this will be his third year, right? His junior year. Yeah, this is his
Is
third year.
it?
Yeah,
Hello?
yeah. I think this
Damn.
is his third year.
Shit goes by fast.
Um, and that was really their guy. I Franz is having a really good start to his season. Jalen Suggs has been tremendous. I think he's hitting his threes at a really high clip right now
Hmm.
on pretty high volume. Yeah, I think I mentioned Franz has been doing good. Jonathan Isaac has been Jonathan Isaac, which is big for them. And they were also a team that I figured would be really competitive,
Hmm.
but all that's down the drain without Paolo.
Yeah.
So
Um, honestly, I haven't been really consistent with the Magic games, but from what I see, I know we discussed what their free agency plans should
Well, yeah,
be
KCP.
going to into
He's on my fantasy.
their elimination last year. I think this was a great pickup for them with KCP. I do also feel like we were kind of thinking about more of a veteran presence in the guard position. So,
Which he is.
which he is, but I definitely was aiming for D'Lo to not pick up his option and go. But we can't be
Can't get what you want.
dreaming like that. So I feel like KCP will be bringing that veteran presence that's much needed right now for Orlando. But like you said, they really are just in a slump because of their injury situation. So I'd imagine that being a woe that they need to go ahead and fix in the meantime. But again, Easter Conference, it's always wishy washy. You never know who the heck is gonna come out of this. But I mean, they have the potential to. So I guess we can go ahead. Is there anything else that you wanted?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Uh,
Nets. I think this is quick.
yeah,
What are you doing? Why are you winning games? You should be in the Cooper flag race.
yeah. I mean,
I think they have their pick. I think they got it back from Houston.
they have their pick back. That is true. They have Cam Thomas, Cam Johnson, and of course
Cam Johnson won't be
they got Dennis Schroeder.
Cam Johnson will be a buck midseason. I'm gonna call it now.
Honestly,
He will be a Milwaukee Buck.
I feel like Cam Thomas will probably leave before Cam
No, no,
Johnson
no.
does.
Cam Thomas, no. I think he's one of their central pieces they want.
They will for sure will not build around Cam Thomas
No, no,
before
I
Cam
think
Johnson.
I just think that a contender. Well, I'll say like I said the Bucks right now, but I think a contender is gonna make a play for Cam Johnson. He he's a he's a role player, and he's a very good role player, a great role player contenders want.
Mm.
So we'll see what the bidding war's like for him. But yeah, I think the Nets would want to keep Cam Thomas over Cam Johnson long term.
Yeah,
And Cam Johnson probably just doesn't want to be there.
I don't think any of them want to be there. I feel like
I think
the
Cam Thomas
way
does because he'll get the ball.
he gets the ball, but you're just putting in empty stats to what never make a playoffs.
Yeah,
But
well,
actually,
that should be in the Cooper flag race.
but
That's
to
what
be
I'm
honest with
saying.
you, I'm gonna hold my breath on that by saying that because right now, what, fifth seed, 5 and 6,
They're not gonna. Yeah, they're gonna fall
one
down.
one game under 500. I mean, it's literally the Eastern Conference. It's anybody's game. So I'm gonna keep saying that because till I get tired of it, but it's the truth. Like right now, it's too close to call from what we're looking at the
Yeah,
stands right now. But let's go ahead and move on to. Is there
Knicks.
anything else you
Nah,
want?
yeah, that's it.
Let's go on to the next borough and see what's up in Madison Square Garden. They had a very eventful free agency. Very,
Yeah,
I,
6 picks for Mikel.
yeah,
Traded Dante and Julius. I think one other piece.
yeah.
Cat. Busy, 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 and it's been a little rough. But I mean, what were they? Were we expecting them to win 10 games off the rip? Like,
Definitely not.
no, they're gonna have fit issues that they're gonna figure out. They have 82 game season.
I mean, Knicks fans got their wish. They wanted Randall out, and now you got the big cat and the
Big
big
bodega,
apple and the big
big purr,
bodega, big purr. You. The fact of the matter is,
Hellcat.
I just never liked Tom Thibodeau as a coach, and that's just my personal opinion. You can't coach. He's a phenomenal assistant coach.
No, I think he's a great coach. He just overplays his players.
That's
He just runs them into the ground.
that's my point.
Yeah, I think he is pretty good at scheming. He's a great defensive minded coach, but he's just an old head and he's stubborn. He
Yeah,
shouldn't be playing. He shouldn't be playing his guys that long. Why are you playing injury prone players like
yeah.
OG? Um, and well,
Even his guards aren't even fully recovered from their injuries from last playoff
yeah, I mean, yeah, he drove. We were watching the corpse of OG Anunoby playing
in the
last play.
conference
Yeah,
in the semifinals.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was rough.
it was so bad.
And Josh Hart, I know Josh Hart was hurt.
Jalen Brunson
Jalen
hand
Brunson.
injury.
So health. I think health is just
Hell
big,
yeah.
and them over the next season figuring out how to. The only one who's having an odd fit right now is Mikel.
Yeah, and we recently some news, coming up about his new shot form. People
Yeah,
wondering about that. I mean, it's cool, but like you're already what 8 years into your career, and you're choosing now to change up your shot form. Like I don't know. Whatever the case is with him moving boroughs or however he's thinking right now, I don't think the Knicks should bank on his presence as a ticket to the conference finals at the moment. Mikal brings scoring. I understand that. But there is something that needs to unlock with their coaching right now when it comes to running their players in the ground because they're not healthy. Point blank, period. They're not healthy. And like you said,
if it keeps up, someone's getting hurt
yeah,
before the playoffs, and that's gonna shoot down.
yeah,
It's gonna shoot down their goals and their dreams.
right.
Uh, Heat.
Back to Florida.
I fucking who. I don't know. I think. I think this is Jimmy's last year in Miami. He's gonna be 36 after the season.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's time to not solely, but just shift the focus to Bam. Get guys hit more his age. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I think Bam's 26,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere around there, and uh, yeah, they're just middle of there's the 7th seed right now. They probably might be a lower seed again, and I think their magic is just run out. The heat culture, whatever thing, is just kind of running thin.
Yeah.
I just think their window's closed, and I think they're a middle of the pack team right now.
Yeah.
And they just got to focus on getting younger guys.
Right.
I think, well, not I think, but what do you think about just as a hypothetical? I saw this on TikTok. Dame for Jimmy straight up.
It's not
No, and I know I was saying like
effective.
Jimmy's gonna leave because of age, and I think they're him and Dame are the same age, so like it wouldn't matter. But
Like how would
I think it would just improve the Bucks more,
but how
and
would
it would improve the
no.
Heat.
How would
I think
JB
so.
complement the reason why Giannis is in a slump right now and his team is in a slump is because he literally pulled the strings for his team. He traded away
I think
Drew
the Bucks need
Holiday.
defense. They need perimeter defense,
He
and
traded
Jimmy
away
Jimmy
Drew,
can provide that better than Dame,
fired Mike Budenholzer, who brought you a title,
and Jimmy can get you.
replaced him with
He can be a little more consistent in scoring.
a coach. I forgot his name. I'm blanking on that, but I'll probably get back to it later on.
Adrian Griffin.
Adrian Griffin fired him, hired Doc Rivers.
Oh yeah, that's also all that coaching stuff and philosophy changes.
Yeah.
That's major contributors to their woes. We'll get into that later.
Again,
This was a hypothetical.
I
And,
don't
yeah,
think
like
it's gonna
okay.
be effective.
All right. Hornets. Yeah, they're doing good. I think Lamelo Ball is balling out,
Yeah,
and they just want to be competitive. They're making these games competitive,
yeah.
and that's all you can ask for. The Hornets, the same thing as we were mentioning for the Cavs, even though they're having two completely different uh, sets of expectations. The Hornets are completely on Lamelo's shoulders.
Hmm.
They're only going to go as far as Lamelo takes them, and it just sucks because Lamelo's injury prone.
Right.
But the dude's fucking balling out, and I love to see it.
I just think culturally they need to make some adjustments.
I think with
Yeah,
Charles Lee bringing it, I think he has been. From what I've seen, I think the players like him,
yeah.
and he's winning them games. So I'm just want to see Lamelo Ball,
I
Chino
mean,
Hills kid.
Hornets is a small market. I don't really pay attention to them as much in a sense, but I do notice Chino Hills native Lamelo Ball, of course, balling up, showing up for, of course, the Californian Hoopers. So, shouts out to him. But for now, they are the A seed, 4-6 at the moment, 2 games under 500. But I'm pretty sure they can make a push for the play-in, if
Yeah,
everything
they
plays
will
out well.
definitely be a playing team.
But let's go ahead and move on to another Ball Brothers team, and that is the Chicago Bulls.
They're the 9 seed right now, but they're doing better than I thought they would.
Vooch is having
You
a
know,
great
yes,
season.
he's actually doing. He's been doing really good.
Yeah.
Giddy's actually been pretty decent for them as well. Levine has been having like a solid, okay comeback to finish. He's been out for so long, you know, so you can only expect so much from him.
Right.
Um,
Same thing with Lonzo.
yeah, they're gonna be a playing team again. Like
Yeah.
maybe not even that. Um, they should also be in the Cooper Flag race. I don't know about their pick situation right now.
Mm.
Um, but it's cool to see Vooch do good.
Do his
You
thing.
know.
They're banking on him and Kobe White, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Kobe White should have won Most Improved Player last year.
Right. And also the fact that, they really didn't have an eventful free agency outside of a few role player signings, Taylor Horton Tucker, acquiring
Isn't
Josh
Jalen
Giddey.
Smith that dude from the Pacers on the Bulls?
Yeah, he got acquired as well. So it's nothing eventful and when it came to free agency, but you see some light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to some of your players that were chronically injured for the last couple of years coming back. So
I'm also gonna call, depending on what Lonzo's season is now, like how he does this season, he will also be acquired by a contender by the next season if it's decent. I think he can contribute really good to a contender.
yeah,
I think the Bucks would love a guy like Lonzo.
I think
And he, yeah,
any team in the Eastern Conference would probably need a point guard. And the thing is, Lonzo, like you said, is a phenomenal perimeter defender. You know, if even though shooting is not necessarily a strong suit, he
you
does.
won't need him to.
You won't
And
need
if
him
you're
to
on a
shoot as much.
contender, yeah, depending on what you're able to give up and stuff like that, you're just gonna need him to defend and dish it out.
Absolutely.
Pistons
Jaden
doing
Ivey,
better.
they're young. The
Um,
Wingstop Pistons,
I think who's coaching them right now? JB Bickerstaff.
bigger stuff. They
Um,
fired Monty
yeah,
after giving him 6 years, one
and
of the
he's
biggest
chilling
coaching
out right
contracts
now.
in
Yeah,
history,
so I bet he's enjoying chilling out right now. But
collecting his bag.
Cade's been balling out. I think through the first 10 games, he's averaging like 24, 10, and 10.
Yeah.
Um, I want to see that dude on the Spurs, but that's for another conversation.
Mm.
Um, I think they're 4-7. They've been more competitive than what I said than last season.
Yeah.
Just from the start, they're then that's all you can ask for. Jaden Ivey has been doing pretty well. He's been improving.
Mm.
I want to see more Sar Thompson development, like more. It's just hard because of how many people they got going on that team and
Right.
stuff, and they all those young guys want the ball and things like that.
Yeah.
Um, that's all I can say is they're just doing better.
Yeah.
They're more competitive, and that's all you can ask for.
Youth is definitely something that.
Oh yeah, fucking Tobias Harris and Tim Hardaway Jr.
Hmm.
They, you can say what you want about those guys, but I don't know their numbers. Tobias Harris has been Tobias Harris, but that's the reason why Cade's been doing so well, is just because he has more consistent shooters around him.
You also have a veteran
Consistent
presence.
with quotation marks.
And they make great veteran presence.
Yeah,
So you're
full,
not
a lot
only
of
solely
young
dealing
guys.
you're not dealing with just youth with them, but I'm hoping for a great season for them, but I have no hopes that they're gonna make the push for the play in as
No,
much.
I unless I could see them as a 10 seed.
Yeah.
You know, barely making it. Hawks. I don't know. Haven't really been. I love Jalen Johnson. That dude's a baller. Uh, I know Ricochet had a really good game against the Knicks. Actually, I think he dropped a career high 33 points.
Mm.
Um, I don't know why Trae Young's still there. I don't think. I think his time's running up. I don't see them making any sort of competitive push anytime soon.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not calling for him to leave or any. I guess yeah, maybe that came off like that.
You just
Tough
got,
situation, you know.
yeah. I think his situation is very sensitive because I just think contractually, I don't see him being able to leave without a team having to give up a lot for just to accommodate his contract length. So I think he's gonna be a Hawk for at least the next 2 seasons.
Yeah, I
But
give it that.
then after that,
We'll
you
see.
know,
We'll see how Jalen and Ricochet develop,
yeah,
and see if it's worth buying into long term with Trey. Because if things don't pan out, I think the first one to go is Trey.
It's Trey.
They're not just gonna give up on their number one pick and Jalen Johnson.
Right.
So
Yeah. And I also think, with Clint Capella's decline in his numbers and whatnot, you will see probably a push in making a Kongu your starting center or just a big,
Illich Hill.
yeah, another Chino Hills player that, I grew up watching, but besides the point, I don't see Hawks making a push.
Nope,
And
not at all.
right now they are 4-7, 3 games under 500. So,
Like the only thing I could see is maybe the Bulls and the Hawks switching.
yeah,
Um, in the lower playing seats. Sixers, rough start. No Embiid, still have yet to see him. I mean, he would have been back, but because of that reporter thing, which I don't like Embiid. Like I'm the first. If there's no more Embiid haters, I'm dead. But he had every right to push that reporter. But that's besides the fact.
yeah.
Um, he just hasn't played. Tyrese Maxey's out. That's
Maxey's
fucking rough.
out
And Paul George is having a slow start.
due to injuries as well.
Yeah,
So
so I
they
I
got the
think
injury
Philly's
bug.
cursed. I just think Philly's cursed, and they are not going to be. I think their second round exit
Yeah,
at best right now. I don't see them making the
first
conference
round
final.
exit.
But if they run into the Cavs, I am taking the Cavs. And it's depending on how the Knicks go, I'm probably going to take the Knicks. And I don't think they have the perimeter defense to keep up with the Pacers.
Yeah,
So it'll be interesting.
I think one thing they can bank on is Jaden McCain, and then that gentleman that they picked up, the one that dunked on Bron. And
Yeah, I would say like,
yeah,
he's just a bench role player, man. Don't
he's a bench role player,
don't
but
go crazy.
look, man, I don't know.
Wizards. Do you have any more thoughts on the Sixers?
I don't.
No,
I just want
yeah,
to say Jaden
it's
McCain.
just injury. Wizards. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been paying too much attention. I know Alex R has been having a rough start to his career.
Right.
Um, Kyle Kuzma is probably going to be one of the first people to go again
Yeah.
for a contender. Who knows?
But he's injured as well at the moment.
Oh yeah,
He's
and
on a day to
then
day
I know
basis.
Jonas is on the Lakers' eyes right now. And then Jordan Poole, he's doing his thing out there. I just want have the kid succeed.
Yeah. I see no hope for them. I feel like they
It will
definitely
also be
need
another
a
lottery team.
yeah, they definitely need the franchise turnaround, but at the moment they are in the Cooper Flag
Cool flag
sweepstakes.
sweep.
At the moment they are 2-7, 13 seed. But I'm hoping that will change at some time. Maybe they could make a run for the play-in, but in my opinion, they probably won't. Top leading scorer, Kuzma and Poole, 17 points per game, but I doubt it. Milwaukee.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. You
Oh
started.
my goodness. You have inherited our terrorist by the name of Darvin Ham. And I would like to apologize that you felt the
Worst
need to
coaching
do
duo in history.
it's it's beyond me. And I don't even blame them solely. I blame Giannis's incompetency to just hold the torch. And what I mean by hold the torch is like, why the hell are you banking on your point guard to have a phenomenal game when he's telling you that I don't I'm a role player. I'm playing the co-star. I'm the Dwayne Wade to your Bron, and you're not delivering. There will be because Giannis, ideally having days where he has shooting slumps, not really delivering as much as he can, but they really just don't have any
They don't have any
cohesive,
chemistry, really
no
good chemistry.
chemistry, nothing.
And Giannis made his bed, and now he has to lay in it. Like what we mentioned earlier. No perimeter defense is rough. They have dated offense, and they're just relying on their two stars to just take over games,
Yeah,
and without a cohesive scheme, which is just an automatic recipe for disaster. I saw some reports and stuff that they've just been trying to make trades, but they've had failure because every team it's too early
yeah,
to make trades now. but they're desperate. They're extremely desperate, and I'm willing to bet that front office wants a coaching change, but they just can't afford it.
Yeah.
You cannot afford to just bring another, even in the midseason, even
Three
midseason. Like you're gonna have to write it out with Doc.
yeah, 3
And
coaches within the span of a year is
yeah, and
way
I
too
I'm gonna be
insane.
thoroughly surprised. I'm already sniffing like I'm smelling a disaster of a season again.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting anything of this team. I'm gonna be surprised if Doc sells a job at the end of the season.
Sells a job, I will be surprised that by the deadline, he'll still be a coach.
They can't
I know
afford it.
they can't, but also in a sense is like
Like who's gonna come in? Frank Vogel, D'Antoni,
Mike D'Antoni. You had
uh,
Mike D'Antoni still on some type of
Monty
coaching
Williams.
list. Monty Williams is still of
I
he
think those guys would be
recently
better than
took
Doc,
us to
but
the
it's just
finals.
bringing, especially in the midseason, bringing in another coach, another philosophy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? But
Of course, he'll take less money if they do bring in
they'll
Monty.
still be a top five seed. I still think they're gonna climb up the ranks, but second round exit.
Very slow start for them.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And lastly, the Raptors. Again, not much.
Mm.
RJ Emmanuel quickly been balling. I've seen Grady Dick have a pretty good start.
Scotty Barnes.
And Scotty Barnes, yeah, he's doing his thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Just youth.
uh,
It's the same case as the
they
Pistons.
will also be low playing last five seed team.
I doubt that.
You think they can climb up?
Well, I mean, they have a better chance than the Pistons, in my opinion. But again, at the moment, it's just too close to call. I do imagine a coaching change will be questioned.
They
Or
will be an 11 and up seed. Like they're gonna be an 11 through 18
they could
because that's
probably
their
fight
play.
for the last 10 seed. But that's been the Eastern Conference. So, Western Conference, OKC, 9-2 at the moment, top seed. No changes during the free agency.
Well, no, yeah, they got
Oh, yeah.
Hartenstein and Caruso.
Hartenstein.
The straight up for Giddy, and then signing Hartenstein, giving him a good contract, which he is deserving of. Sucks that Chet got hurt. That's a big hit to their title blows. I don't think they're gonna get as far as they can without him. You know, he's the second star. He's the second piece.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, what are you gonna do?
But
Um,
is his
he's out for
injury
6 to 8 weeks right now.
6 to 8 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I don't think you want to rush something like that, especially so young. Um, yeah, they have a window right now. It
Mhm.
can still wait another 1 to 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're young, uh, and you have time. And I know like you're gonna be scared of Shea getting impatient, because the dude's an MVP candidate
Right.
and he wants to win now, but you got time. You have the absolute treasure chest of capital to get what you can get whatever you want.
Mm.
Like they have a package for Giannis.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
for a type of player like that. And so patience, I think, is just with this team. Um, I think they're still, especially because Hartenstein's out, they're just still low on boards right now, getting boards, but that's
Mhm.
gonna change with him coming back.
Yeah.
And there's also, I just think, yeah, title contender.
Title
They're
contender
they're
for sure.
possible about it.
At least one of
Possible
three
of it.
in the Western
Yeah.
Conference. Yeah.
Suns, the fucking Suns, man.
Yeah. And this goes against. This is probably for everybody that was part of the Mike Budenholzer slander. Um, I'm not saying I like the guy, but you can't really go against his
We'll see how he does in the playoffs.
accolades.
I'm just gonna say that. We'll see how he does in the playoffs. All
Yeah,
right, but they've been great. Suns have been great, and Tyus Jones was a great pickup for them.
great
He's
pickup.
been like I've noticed he's been a little
Miles Plumlee.
a little bit there, but he's perfect. Like just let him fit in a bit more. He's gonna be perfect for them.
Yeah,
I
Miles
haven't been
Plumlee, great pickup too.
who?
Miles Plumlee, or
Oh,
one of the
Mason
Plumlee
Plumlee.
brothers. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mason.
I haven't seen how Bradley Beal's been doing, but They're 8-2. So I'm
8 and
guessing he's
2,
doing great. He's doing what he needs to do. And KD's been having a great start to another season. I mean, he's in year 18.
year
So
18,
he's been something like that. So he
36
great
years
longevity
old,
talks, you know?
25 points a game. Yeah, he's
And
doing
it's
good.
I don't see him slowing down anytime soon unless he gets injured again. But let's pray, like knock on fucking wood or some wood. Yeah, knock on wood doesn't happen. But
I
he's been
doubt.
balling.
Yeah.
Warriors fake run, just like that. Like fake run. I don't want.
Like the Cavs?
Yes, like I know the Warriors. Fucking Buddy Hill's been great. Buddy Hill's been great for them. Um, he's taken the Clay role and exceeded it.
Mhm.
I think more than most people thought. Um, banking on development from Trace Jackson Davis.
Yeah.
He's been great for them.
Podeminsky.
Yeah, Pods. Kaminga's been jumping through some hoops. I don't know the terminology
He
I'm trying to say. He's been
yeah.
improving. That's all I'll
Mhm.
say. He's been improving, and they need to. A big knock on them has been
Curry's injuries and
no, more so that they've been trying to stay with the dynasty, but also rebuild at the same time. And that's
right.
caused a lot of conflict. But I think now it's catching up a little bit. Like it's starting to make a lot more sense. They're gonna be competitive. They're the Warriors.
Yeah.
Um, you have Steph Curry,
You have Draymond still.
so we're just gonna you got Draymond, of course.
9 and 2. I mean, they're capable of
Eight
doing
and two.
these type of runs. Like 8 and 2, they're capable of doing types of runs like these. They are, in my opinion, definitely banking on their youth to come out and push strong for them and develop more. And they're delivering in essence. Let's see if they can go ahead and
Sustain it.
maintain it, sustain it. Um, you know, hopefully no injuries to their veteran players, Draymond and Curry. Also, Draymond getting out of trouble, of course. He's been going
I think
through
he's
a lot.
been having. I haven't. It's been 10 games, but I haven't seen a lash out from him.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's been really keeping it cool, which is good for your team. You know
Yeah.
they need him. The Nuggets window is closed. It's done. Jokic is playing at a fucking MVP level. I am advocating for Tatum's MVP, but I cannot.
I mean,
I can't. I can't compare it to Jokic's season right now for the beginning of the season he's been having.
you're saying that for a team that's 77-3 right now, so let's
He's been fucking balling out. I think Jamal had a really good bounce back game against the Dallas Mavericks. It was a close game.
yeah.
Uh, they need that to
They
stay competitive to keep afloat.
they need
But
Christian Brown to deliver how you would expect him to deliver if he was put
I
in the
just don't
starting
think he's
position.
capable.
I think he is.
I don't know. You need a bank on him and Peyton Watson and on their development, but I just don't think they're ready
Mm,
right now. I think they need a little bit more time.
yeah,
But it's hard to give those people that time, while you also have the best player in the world trying to win now. Um,
yeah.
I don't see them making out the West this year, barring injury. You know,
Which they don't really have a history of outside of Jamal Murray.
I'm saying I
But
guess for other teams.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like if other teams are healthy,
uh,
I would probably pick a good amount of other teams.
but at the moment, 7-3.
Jokic
Last
is playing
game,
us.
Jokic triple double. Jamal Murray accompanied him with 27 points.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So 7-3 at the moment, but I still think they can punch their ticket to a Western Conference Finals. Don't know about the finals, but they still in
That's
that
their ceiling.
conversation. Yeah. Houston.
Rockets.
That is a very excited team. I think they're
Yeah,
very
they're fun
exciting
to
to
watch.
watch. Jalen Green on my fantasy team. He's doing phenomenal.
I love Alperen Sengun,
Alfred Sengun, Kenyon Martin. K Martin's been doing good.
Cam, Man,
Cam
Tari,
Man,
Tari,
Eaton or Easton, forgot his name.
Tari Eason,
Tari Easton, he's doing phenomenal as well.
Reed Shepard. I don't know. Has Reed Shepard been playing? I haven't seen a lot.
I haven't seen him as much. Amen.
Yeah,
Is it Amen or Asar on that team?
Amen. Yeah,
Yeah, Amen's doing good. They're young, but I think they're really putting their pieces together and showing what they're made of, and it's
Yeah.
delivered with the fifth seed.
I think in the next 2 years, though, depending on how well they do, two or three of those guys won't be on the team anymore. They're gonna be moved for a superstar.
I feel like they have way too many forwards that are in their
Wing, I
rotation,
think.
wings,
Yeah, a lot of wings.
that it could potentially cause some type of distraught and distress between who the hell is going to be playing.
It's too many guys. Too
Too
many
many.
guys,
And
and
on
they
top of,
need to focus on who they're building.
yeah,
Like they need to make a decision. This is who we're running with, and then if I just had to guess, the people that are going to be on their way out.
Brooks.
No, I'm guessing I'm talking about their young wings,
Mm,
like that will get you a star and maybe even a superstar.
right.
Tari Eason and
Tyrese
Cam
and,
Whitmore.
and maybe Kmart. I'll throw
Can you?
Kmart in there.
Yeah, and then you can also maybe even
Ideally,
if Jabari. I don't think Jabari has been great.
yeah,
Um, and all those guys, high draft picks, and well, Cam Whitmore went 17, but he was projected to go a lot higher.
yeah,
Um, they can get you someone good. A contender that is just time is gonna blow it up, and they need to just get some capital back and some young pieces.
yeah.
They will gladly take those guys and develop them.
But also, ideally, I feel like with their young pieces, I feel like they want to avoid giving them away and just using a player that has a contract caliber similar to a Dylan Brooks, whereas you are still getting some type of money back, gives a high caliber player for giving up less. But I doubt it. Maybe you are right. Some of them might be left.
They will be. They're gonna have to make a decision. Is what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Grizzlies.
Moving to Tennessee, Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, health. Bottom line,
Yeah,
health. John Morant coming off of a preseason injury. I forgot what specifically he was injured in,
he's been
but
doing really good though.
he's doing good. Had his moment with LeBron a couple games ago with the too short taunt, but other than
Yeah,
that,
main thing is health.
main thing is health.
Keeping Brandon Clark healthy, keeping Jaw healthy.
Keeping Desmond
Desmond
Bain.
Bain.
So it's definitely health is the
They're
main
hungry.
issue. They're hungry though, and it shows. I really have no other comments
You
on them.
can you can talk. You can go to the Lakers. Yeah.
Lake Show, um, uneventful
Dude.
free agency outside of a coaching change, much needed. Um,
We got Christian Coloco.
Christian Coloco was signed. That was a big major, I guess. A few other rookies that have been introduced. One of them, of course, being a son of a Hall of Famer, Bronny Quincy Oliveri. I feel like he's been a great pickup on a two-way. A lot of great, phenomenal guards were picked up in this free agency. We did pick up the options on Cam Reddish, Jack Hayes, Seawood. We brought back the whole collective. So, the first three games were looking great. 3-0 at the start. Looked like they were going to make a run for the first seed. But, of course, we've been seeing some slumps. Ideally, you are banking on AD being healthy and bringing it every single night. You do not need alternating days. We need Anthony Davis. So is is definitely his team now.
I got two questions for you, and then we can move on from the Lakers, right? And keep them quick. Two things. What's your thoughts on JJ Redick? I like him. I think he's a great coach.
He's a great coach. I just think JJ. I hate the stereotype that because a former player becomes a coach and he was most notable for his shooting, that all of a sudden the team needs to be a great shooter. That's not the case. Lakers are not going to be a great 3-point shooting team. They're not going to be a great offensive team. They're banking on
Which you
defense.
need, but
Well, you need it.
yeah.
I admit it.
Yeah.
But right now, they are banking on their defense, and they're showing it. I could understand why they made the lineup change with Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish is a great perimeter defender. He's not. He brings the D. He doesn't bring the D3.
Yeah.
Pause. So that's the first question. Second question.
Second question: is D'Lo a Laker at the trade deadline?
Ooh, man. maybe we should keep him in trade talks just so he keeps playing like this. But as of now, I would go ahead and start questioning Rob Palinka's
Think they'll package him and Hochefino?
yeah. mm, I would think somebody of a Hood caliber, especially with contract length as well to take into consideration. I don't think they should package anybody greater in their
Depth.
guard rotation just because like I mentioned earlier, they have way too many guards now.
Mm.
So you're banking on finding somebody that's in need of a guard, Utah, um, just so
Utah
you can
doesn't
get
need
that.
another guard.
You
They got Clarkson, Sexton. Uh, fuck that thing.
know? Yeah, you need an offensive facilitator because Colin Sexton is gonna be dropping.
Let me look at the Jazz lineup real quick.
Yeah, but to answer your question,
Oh, Keontae,
really,
he's a baller.
all right, but
Patty Mills.
Patty Mills bench warmer.
Holy shit. Okay. Timberwolves. Uh, I don't like Julius Randle and Timberwolves.
Dante DiVincenzo though.
Yeah, I love that. That's great, especially him learning under Mike Conley.
Mm.
Like that's perfect. But my big thing with the Timberwolves was just why have Julius Randle on your team? I thought they were. I would have put money on them flipping him, but he's just taking the ball out of Anthony Edwards' hands, and Anthony Edwards has been playing great.
Mm.
Um, he's what the team's banking on, you know,
Yeah.
obviously. But why have someone like that, especially a known playoff dropper who is supposed to be and now is your second scoring option,
Mm-hmm.
who is known, yeah, and now you have that type of person on your team for the playoff run
Yeah.
that with championship aspirations, and I just don't think maybe this was, but we've been saying it for a while, but maybe this is the wake up call Julius Randle's going to have to start playing a little more team ball, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. I think that's just the
He's finding his
yeah.
place. Same thing with Dante, but I think Dante kind of knows what
Dante
his role
fits
is.
easier.
He fits easier because he knows he's a role player.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Julius Randle taking a whole new role. Everybody thought that the Knicks was gonna be his team, but obviously enough with the injuries. So, like you said, I think he will go ahead and adjust some way, and I think Timberwolves will definitely make a push for
They're a
conference
contender.
finals.
They're a contender.
Conference finals for sure. I think they could go back, but outside of that, I think that's their peak.
Clippers. Also don't kind of care. I'm not really putting too much merit into them. They're staying competitive in games. They're
New arena.
6-5 right. New arena, which we're gonna go to. We'll check it
Yeah.
out. But no Kawhi. And that's rough.
Yeah.
And Harden's been doing his thing. The Harden and Zubac duo has been great. I feel like Harden's known to just unlock centers and make them great.
Right.
And we're seeing that with Zubac. Zubac's always been one of the better, I think,
Bigs.
role player big centers. You know,
Yeah.
extremely dependable and consistent.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just not much. There's just not much of this team going on.
Yeah.
And they have no capital. They're in one of the worst situations you can be in.
With no draft picks.
Yeah, no draft picks and aging stars, aging hurt, injury prone stars.
Recent general manager passed away.
I think
yeah.
you just got to blow it up and get what you can, and you cut your losses. But it's just hard because of your new stadium, and how are you going to get butts and seats for,
Yeah.
with the Bones Highland run team.
I mean, Zubac averaging about 14 rebounds per game.
No disrespect to Bones Highland, but like you're not James Harden.
No, I think he needs to get out though. It's evident that Ty Lue does not want him on the team, especially with how
He's just kind of a shot chucker. Is that it? You think? Or
yeah, outside of I'm just gonna be yelling out empty stats for them, but I don't see no future if Kawhi is not healthy.
Yeah, 100%. And even with Kawhi healthy, how far are they at? How far are they realistically going? How far realistically is Kawhi's body gonna go?
Yeah.
How far? So yeah.
Well, does he have a finals run? We don't know.
No, it's just not. we have the history.
Yeah.
Kings, fun team, fucking great team, fucking good 2K team. Or fucking great 2K team. But I think they're 6-5 right now. They're at the 10 seed, but I expect that to change. They're gonna go up the ranks. I think they're gonna figure it out as they go on. I'm high on this team. Is
Yeah.
all I can say.
Hmm.
I love Keon Ellis. Uh, Sabonis has been fucking great. He's always doing his thing.
Yeah.
I think he had a perfect game.
He had a perfect
Well, yeah, he
game.
had like 13 assists, 0 turnovers. He went like 6 for 6 from the field,
Hmm.
something like that. I might be mixing up some games,
Yeah.
but
Great free agency pickup with DeRozan.
yeah,
We always knew that DeRozan was going to play for a California team.
he's fitting in a lot better than I thought. I thought there'd be a lot more Wozler early on,
Hmm.
but he's fitting in a little more seamlessly
Yeah.
than I initially thought. I thought it'd take a little longer
Right.
to get to the point where we're at now.
I think he's definitely lifting the burden off of De'Aaron Fox when it comes
Yeah,
to shot creation.
and especially when you got Fox, DeRozan, and Malik. That's tough. That's a really good closing lineup, and they'll probably what's their closing lineup right now?
The close,
It'd probably be Fox, Keon, Fox.
not
No,
Keon.
Fox, Monk,
Fox, Monk, DeMar.
Mar,
If they run small, then it'd be King and Murray, and then Domas.
Keegan Murray, and Domas. And that's not the
That
best defensive lineup,
is
but
not.
that's a really good offensive lineup,
Yeah.
and I think it's just gonna be up to Mike Brown to scheme really, really well, um, to just limit, you know, to maximize whatever defense they have. But that is a really killer closing lineup offensively,
Yeah.
and I think it'll take him far. I
Yeah.
completely forgot about King Murray. He's been having a great
Keegan
season.
Murray's been having a great season. One of the top 3 point percent shooters last year. So let's see if it carries on this year.
So we mentioned the Mavericks earlier. Yeah, I don't know if there's much to say. Well, I mean, Klay Thompson pickup, he's been really good for them.
Yeah.
Uh, Quinn and Grimes pickup has been solid, and
Resigning of some players. I mean, they made it to the finals, and that was their peak last year. So could we see and we saw some of their woes came from not having the ability to create offense,
which now they have.
which now they have corrected with this signing. I'm hoping with Clay. You lift the burden off of your guards of Kyrie and Luca. So
Losing Derrick Jones sucks,
it did.
but
Who's on the Clippers,
they,
by the way?
yeah, but Najee Marshall, Najee Marshall was another pickup, which is I really like for them,
Yeah,
and also just really really banking on Derek Lively's development.
yeah,
He's another just key piece for them going forward into their future. Luca's Luca, Kyrie's Kyrie.
yeah.
That's
At the moment, what they're 12, 11?
11 seed 5-5,
The
500 right now. It's just
definitely change.
the West is a gauntlet.
Dominant as
It's
hell.
competitive, literally 1 through 12.
Yeah,
Spurs. Chris Paul's been great. I think everybody knew when we saw Chris Paul was going to the Spurs
mm-hmm.
that it was a good signing. It was a good pickup. It wasn't just like a wasted thing.
Yeah,
He The big thing with the Spurs right now is just I hate sounding like an old head, but Wembanyama's got to get in the paint. He's got to stop shooting these threes. I think he's at 6 attempts a game right now,
right.
and I know that's the future of the league, but nobody can guard him in the paint. They You can throw the ball at an height that
If,
no one can contest to.
but if I'm being fair, nobody can guard him from the perimeter too.
Yeah, but
He's just
it's
that.
less consistent. Do you get what I'm saying?
It's
Like
less
I know
consistent.
you're gonna have to develop a shooting game, but when it's not going, just get down there and just get points on the board.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
and with CP, I think that'll definitely be something
You
that
gotta
he'll
do
take
that a
care of.
little bit more,
Yeah.
Um,
The greatest story of San Antonio is, of course, the Chris Paul signing. I don't know if it will bring anything significant to their record wise, but he will still instill some type of culture and some type of camaraderie for
and
all the youth in the team.
and I love that Stephon Castle is learning under Chris Paul.
I love
That's
Devon.
gonna
Yeah,
pay off really well.
I'm excited for him. Same thing with the Wolves case with Rob Dillingham. You have Mike Conley.
Yeah, yeah, Mike
under-
Conley and Dante right above Rob Dillingham. And
Yeah,
that's gonna be great. I have nothing to say about the Blazers, honestly.
outside of
I think Scoot is on bus watch.
he is.
He's on bus watch.
He's on bus watch. But outside of that, I think Anthony Simons, Jeremy Grant, somewhat DeAndre Ayton. I don't know if he's
I think
still
Jeremy Grant's gone.
just
Not at the
putting
deadline,
up
then at the
empty
year.
stats.
But I think he's gone. He'll be somewhere else.
And a contender, you think?
Contender, competitive team.
I'd imagine him going back to the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, probably. Like the Bucks can use literally
Agree,
anyone at this point.
100%.
So
But who'd they give up? I don't know.
Gary Trent, Torian Prince.
Chris Middleton.
I don't know.
But Eastern
That's another.
Conference,
Yeah,
Bobby Portis. I mean, besides that,
yeah. The
uh,
Pelicans injury.
Pelicans.
That's what else is there to say?
McCollum's hurt.
They're
Their
fucking
guards are all literally all hurt. Herbert
yeah.
Jones is injured.
Sucks.
Javante. It sucks,
It
but
just sucks because we saw in that 2022 run with the Zionless Pelicans going against the Suns and how competitive they were.
right.
Everybody saw just from that the potential of the Pelicans, especially with Zion. That playing game last season, right? Zion was gonna Zion single-handedly was going to beat the Lakers, and then he got hurt.
Yeah.
He had 40 before he got out. That motherfucker was gonna go for 50. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we know how good the Pelicans can be, especially with Zion, but it's held. And it really sucks because we're getting robbed of really, really fun basketball from a smaller market team. But just can't stay healthy.
Injuries. It's the worst thing. Especially the fact that it's putting a dent into their guard depth. You're relying on players like Jose Alvarado, which is not a bad thing, but it's not gonna get you to a playing position that you were almost a year ago. They were in the
Pretty
play-in
much.
last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably not gonna be the best bet for the play-in, but I'm hoping for turnaround this season for them.
And then lastly, last talking point of the night, the Jazz Cooper Flag sweepstakes. And uh what's going on with Lori?
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
Um Danny Ainge is running it, so you know that he will always win any deal he's a part of.
Right.
But I think they're just focused on getting Cooper Flag. That's the one that
Mm.
matters. And the development of Keontae George.
Yeah.
And Walker Kessler, which has been a little rough.
I could imagine him being probably off the team, depending on how trade talks go for some of the teams that are interested in him. Mainly the ones in the West. So Lakers.
No.
It's Utah's just one of those teams that I don't really have my eye on. Kind of similar to the Hornets case, but I'd imagine them, in a few years, probably changing things up. Uh, and of course, with no depth in in the veteran sweepstakes, so it's gonna be kind of a dent for them. But that's been mainly all these teams been yapping for about almost an hour now, so it's about time we go ahead and wrap things up for this episode. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in, and
Thanks for listening to us.
yeah,
We'll try to get on this more.
be more consistent. So hope y'all stay in tune in the next episode. And I'm Mickey, joined by the homie Suhgoon.